right. Day 6, afternoon. Did our walk, did some running, did some napping. A lot of stretching and then some napping.
Oh, you did too?
Yeah, well, I didn't really do much napping. I sat and watched some YouTube videos and checked out things on my phone, uploaded the last video, shared that. Ate a little bit of food. Thought about napping. Thought about it.
Well, I just finished the bread and we must have sat in the chair and I think I almost fell asleep.
That's probably what I'll do when I head back. Lay down, do a little savasana, and fall asleep for a bit, let the body relax and rest. Certainly could use a little extra rest. That's super exciting in here, doing a bit of a warm up like we have been doing all along, getting everything ready to go. Warm up the muscles. Get that taffy warmed up. Check the cervical spine. Do a little more traditional, basic stuff. Again.
You probably don't realize this because you're so strong and also so precise in where you're putting your strength and so diligent, like you say, not missing a session. And you probably don't realize there's a lot of trauma for a body.
It is. It can be. That's why we're doing some relaxing stuff on this one. We're already, you're already feeling tired and needing to relax anyway, so we're going to go ahead and pull the body into a relax a little bit more.
Well, I'd say that too, in gratefulness that you're willing to do such healing,
Yeah.
Seems to me, as a patient client or friend, that this is what it takes to do some deep healing like you're doing.
Yes, it does. And this is a connection thing. I don't have the 7 days laid out exactly. We're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. I have a fair idea that I'm going to come in and work on the back, I'm going to be working on the shoulder, but the body draws me in a certain fashion. Sometimes it draws me in to get in there really deep and hard, and sometimes it draws me in to do relaxing things. It's so when I switch gears, it's interesting too. It's nice to note that both you as my clients as well felt the same way, that doing a lot of deep work, it's a lot of tearing work. So the body was asking me to go ahead and do some more taffy style openings, warm it up a little bit, get a little bit deeper in there. Even though I do generally warm it up, it wanted even more, but it also wanted it in a relaxing fashion too. And you don't always know from day to day what the plan is going to be. You can throw an idea, and I've done this all the time that I've been doing this work with all my clients. I have a fair idea of what I intend to do, but I let the body guide me. I get there and I might be thinking, well, I'm going to start with my typical face up, work on neck and shoulders and get everything opened up in the head and face. And there has been times where I tell my client, go ahead and jump on there, face up, and they jump on face down and they're almost out cold. So I'm like,
right?
Yeah, so I'm not going to argue with them. I just kind of bring the face rest up and ask them if they'd like to scoot into the face rest. If not, they can stay right where they're at and I'll work on them that way, because the body will automatically decide what it wants. There are times when it's accidental and they're like, oh, no, I meant to be up the other way, or you said this or whatever, but it's a whole different ballgame when there's just like no two ways around it. They just jump on the table in a certain fashion. So sometimes, some of my clients, I'll be like, here, just jump on whatever way works best for you. and go at it. So I don't really always have a very well set plan ahead of time. I just know that I'm going to connect and work with the body. I have lots of techniques, lots of ideas, lots of things I can do, but the body is the one that makes the decision and tells me what it wants, what it's looking for. And you know you're not having a good connection with the body is when your thoughts are overriding what you're doing. You should be able to kind of just get out of your own body and let the two bodies connect. If you're having a hard time with it in a certain spot, shut your eyes. Keep your hands moving, but shut your eyes. Allow yourself to just kind of sink in. Very deep down into the ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it's the serratus posterior or posterior serratus. Probably got tore at some point. It's a mixed MET, muscle energy technique, where you're just overriding it by staying a certain pressure against it until it releases. I'm doubling it or maybe tripling it up because I'm actually putting a direct firing of nervous energy. I'm carrying it from over here, my left hand, all the way through me or kind of around me into my right hand and firing it back in. You could arguably connect equal spots and just balance them that way. I feel quite a bit of a good balance. That way I'm just balancing between these 2 points. If you really want to drop it down, you get right up into the CNS. Find your energy flow. Running along the outside of yourself and back through your fingers, or on the outside of your fingers and right into that spot. Cerebellum, like the maestro. The cerebellum is like the maestro of the nervous system.
Tell me more.
So everything that happens in your brain, in your head, has to be translated down the nervous system to determine where it's going. And the nervous system is this huge bundle of nerves that run down through here as they branch out. Big fat bundle. And the maestro, the cerebellum right up inside of here, has all these different pieces coming off of it, and it's almost like it plucks different ones to make things happen, to make the actions happen throughout your body. So I call him the maestro, the conductor, making things happen on the symphony of the body. And if I get up in here and I connect to the neutral energy, just the energy before anything is fired, and so I know what the actual feeling of your energy is here, I'm sending it across me straight back into, I'm short circuiting it right into the spot, similar to what somebody would do with needles to some degree. But I'm focusing mine a little differently, not really trying to overload the nervous system, just trying to remind it what it feels like to be relaxed. Then I can come to the other end where that brachial line comes from right here on C3, C4, maybe even further down to the C8 junction, which is the non-existent junction, and balance that actual feeling, the voltage as it were, between these 2 points. I know what it feels like here. Make it feel the same here. And if need be, I'll actually input using my own energy and send it back a line. sometimes it's not the direct energy flow, it's finding the origin point of the muscle you're working on. And just kind of breaking that connection around the periosteum where it connects to the endosteum of the bone. And then stretching it out. Just kind of stripping the muscle a little bit. Squeezing, think of it more of like you're squeezing through a pastry bag. You're kind of squeezing the stuff out. Get it to flatten back out. For anybody that's doing the practitioner stuff out there, these chairs will convince you to either be really careful about where you stand or wear shoes, because the metal legs suck.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Every once in a while I'll brush my foot into it. Real chunky underneath there. I don't need to do anything. I know you're wanting to, but you don't need to on this one. And yeah, a lot of times I will let the client do their thing, because they're listening to their body, but right now I'm a little more deeply connected. So I can tell when it's the client overriding the thoughts of necessity.
Yeah, right there.
What do we got? Feels like a fascial tear. Big chunky piece of it too.
Are you feeling a lot of the tightness that existed before, and spasm or just like you say, pushed together taffy? Are you yourself feeling some progress with it?
Oh, there's a lot of progress because
Yeah.
we're down to individual muscles now
Oh, yeah.
in a lot of places. Normally, for the first few days, it was just first day for sure. It was like steel cords, and then we work our way down, and it's a little softening and a little softening. Then we had balloony muscles. Now we're getting down to some of the smaller muscles, more individualized. This is
Where the deepest smashing, jamming has occurred.
Yeah, we're down pretty far. This is definitely where you were being kicked. Has a scar tissue wrapped around some of the brachial plexus, posterior.
Yeah, that really goes into my arm.
Yeah, exactly. And we got a hold of that nerve that's right underneath this, is kind of wrapped up inside of there. So I'm literally just working back and forth and just kind of driving that. And you're probably feeling constant shock going down there.
I'm feeling, yeah.
Each time I flink like this. Okay, so that's a bundle. This is a pretty good sized nerve bundle coming right out. And then it heads along. A bunch of the finer ports of it head down through here, down the arm. So rather than trying to send this signal down the arm, but starting down here, coming up here where there's still a good signal, and now we're working our way through and sending it further down. Now, I do know that there's a lot of scar tissue here, so I'm not going to get too insane about it, because until all that scar tissue is broken down, you can't have all of the signal working yet. You can only get a little bit of life in there, a little bit of circulation. Feel that sucker.
I just right on it.
I want to go up here and free it. Not easy to follow. It's a little bit more of a fire style, so that means you've been on the nerve a little bit, not long, but right at the top end of it. You want to be where it's just at the firing feel inside. That way it's all just enough irritated on the outside that it's going to create proper bindings and move everything around. It's a good spot for a gua sha knife. Move everything around. So when we started working on this, your scapula, your shoulder blade, the medial border was sitting way over here. It was causing a lot of the problem.
Is that right?
Yeah, well, put it on there. Yeah, it was right about there. Go ahead and relax. When we started, even with your arm sitting up here, it was right there. Now you've relaxed enough that things have rounded forward, so I can actually get underneath those muscles.
Well, that's really encouraging.
Yeah, it is.
You know, any healing starting, loosening from the get-go is just helpful.
Right. Well, we got a lot of scar tissue in there to break down. Gosh. Just further across.
Well, I would say most practitioners probably wouldn't attempt this.
I don't know. You really got to have a lot of thought to do this. I haven't run across any others that put this much effort into what they're doing. Usually they want a doctor to tell them what they need to know.
What medicine to take.
Yeah. Or at least, the practitioner's looking for somebody else. The massage therapist is looking for somebody else to tell them, hey, this is where you should be working. Either Terry's major and minor. We worked the heck out of those, and they're feeling a lot better. Let it go. Let that go. Much better. Still a lot of subscaps that are just, they're laying right on top. If this is his back and his ribs are going across like that, then you got the scapula sitting over the top of it, and the subscaps are in between, underneath, and they're just rubbing on there. And we got to get those to relax. So that's going to take a little more work. As it turns out. Arm again. Not getting that opening yet. Shoulder.
No, there was some fear there.
Yep. That's okay. We got quite a bit further than we had without putting a bunch of excess into it. Still working on it. Get some intelligence in there. Give the other shoulder a little bit of work so they can relax. Traps feel better than they have.
Yeah, they were pretty tight, weren't they?
Yeah. They still need some work, but they're slowly letting it go. striking the gluteus medius, striking along that TFL towards the IT maximus.
Healing hands, how wonderful.
All right, Don, you can get on up.
Oh, I just said it, healing hands, how wonderful.
Thank you.
Once again, I'm very fortunate to have healing hands, and it's not easy to be the person who's healing. There's a lot of trauma that is being released, and
Yeah, there is.
to bring on the healing. So
There is. And be cautious. You carry it in yourself. You know, he's got it here in his back, and I have a ghost feeling of it in mine. So I have to shed that as well when I'm done.
yeah,
Takes a little bit of forethought to remember what your energy feels like, so you can release the tension of the other person's energy as well while you're working.
yeah.
All right.
Grateful blessings. Thank you.
You're welcome. Stay fantastic out there, and we have tomorrow still yet to come.